Well, kiddies, it's back to school time for many of you, whether it's college or university, high school, or even elementary school for some of my audience. And for those of you under 13 who watch me, your parents should probably be more active in your life. But hey, thanks for the views. Anyway, here in Ontario, Canada, this means some parents stressing out about the types of things their young children are going to learn about sex. You know, the ol' in and out. Rough, nasty, hard, bite your arm to stop screaming so the neighbors don't complain again fucking. And this isn't just an Ontario, Canada thing. Just using them as an example because I live here. As I discussed in other videos, sex in North America is something people are afraid of. Last year, Ontario laid out a new curriculum to be taught in elementary school, which, in anticipation of its release, had parents protesting last school year, and no doubt we'll see some more this year. Why? Well, because it's radical, you see. And not in the Bill and Ted kind of way, more in the Richard Reed kind of way, according to the Campaign Life Coalition. A group of, well, let's not call them radical, so let's say tubular Christians. They take issue with kids learning about pee-pees and woo-woos at too young an age. In grade 1, the curriculum will teach kids that their pee-pee is their penis and their woo-woo is their vagina. This is considered graphic to the CLC. If you read the parts they tried to gray out, they use an example of why this would be taught. So kids know what their own fucking body parts are called. Would these people be upset that they're learning that their arms are called arms and not hangy grabbers? Of course not. That'd be fucking silly, right? They also try to throw in a claim that grade 1 kids will learn what consent looks like. Although I couldn't find that in the curriculum at all. That word doesn't even appear until grade 2, so don't worry, religious people. You get a full year of choir boys and altar boys being in school before they learn that they're allowed to say no to Father Fast Fingers. What else are they worried about besides kids learning the name of their own body parts and who is and isn't allowed to fondle them? Well, in grade 3, they're going to teach kids that gay people exist. Now I know you've been telling them that they weren't actually real like vampires and the boogeyman, and this goes against that teaching. Now if you actually read what they're going to teach, it's far different from what the CLC says. They claim that they're going to normalize homosexual marriage in the minds of 8-year-olds without regard for the religious or moral beliefs of families. Because gays aren't moral, you know. But what they'll actually teach is that visible and invisible differences make people unique, and that people should show respect for those differences. It's not, they're gonna teach kids that it's okay for boys to screw other boys in grade 3. What they're saying is, in the example, they're going to teach that some families are different than yours, and you should understand that that's okay. What would they rather they teach? That if you find out there's a kid in your class with gay parents, you should fucking burn their house down? By the time you're in grade 3, you're about 8 years old. You've heard the word gay. You ever hear a bunch of 8-year-olds calling each other gay on the playground? If you haven't, you're fucking deaf. I suppose that's what you'd prefer though. Don't teach respect or tolerance, just let kids be shitty to each other when they find out someone's different. Funny enough, personal or cultural values and beliefs are also something they want to teach people to respect. I'm glad they didn't bother with that when I was a kid, or else I might have learned that it's not nice to make fun of these dumb fuck campaign life cultists or whatever. In grade 6, they think it's totally gnarly that kids will learn about masturbation. No, not learn, sorry, have it promoted, like a Coke ad to them. Hey kids, it's fun to whack off, is what they believe they will be taught. Of course, that's not what it says, but leave it to religious people to misconstrue something from a book to suit their own means. It says that kids will learn that many people do it, and that it's not harmful, and that you can learn about your body from it. These are all facts. Another fact, 12-year-olds are hitting puberty and are getting tingly. Probably a good idea for them to understand why, which is of course the part they conveniently left off of their website, that this is all part of a unit about puberty. No, much healthier for them to just dry hump the couch and then be ashamed or be told they're sinners and they're going to hell for feelings that, if you believe God created us, you also have to believe the ability to feel those feelings were put there by God too. That guy's a fucking asshole if he ever said, "Hey, I'm gonna make you horny, then sentence your soul to eternal damnation once you die if you ever touch yourself while you're alive." That doesn't seem like the type of guy I want to hang around with anyway, thanks. They also don't want kids learning about oral and anal in grade 7. But they describe the way it'll be taught like it's fucking David Blaine's street magic, claiming it's a sleight of hand trick to sneakily introduce kids to the concepts of anal and oral as they teach about STIs. When we look at the actual curriculum and not their grayed out snippet, you'll see this is about identifying ways to prevent STIs, including HIV. The CLC says that kids might not even be aware of these concepts, and this is what will put the idea in their minds. So yeah, better to pretend that they don't happen. Just teach kids that vaginal sex can cause AIDS, and then let the schoolyard come up with the idea that, hey, if I put my penis in a different hole, it won't give me AIDS. The teacher said you can only get diseases if you have vaginal intercourse. They never said anything about the other stuff. Was the goal in this sneaky introduction of graphic sex acts to avoid the accusation that the premier, our version of a governor, was promoting a gay agenda, seeking to normalize gay sex in the minds of kids? You know that straight people have anal and oral sex too, right? This doesn't say anything about homosexuality. I feel like the writer of this article could have used a better sex ed class. And finally, they don't want 13-year-olds carrying around condoms. They claim children will be taught to keep a condom on their person in case there's a chance they will be having sex sometime soon. The actual curriculum says people who think they will be having sex sometime soon should keep a condom with them so they will have it when they need it. It doesn't say anything about kids. And they're not saying, hey kids, everyone grab a domer. We're heading to camp for the year-end class trip and shit's gonna get wild. They're saying, if you've made the decision to have sex, protect yourself so you don't end up with diseases or a kid at the age of 14 that you're not equipped to handle, since you can't even take care of yourself currently, which some studies have shown to happen more often when abstinence is the focus of sex ed. The thing that baffles me is that parents had to fuck in order to have kids, and they can't honestly tell me that they didn't know about sex until the day they conceived the kid, or that that would be a good thing. And isn't the idea that you want your kids to have everything better than you did, which should include a better education? If your issue is that you don't want your kids to have kids, well, there's a really easy way to handle that one. Sit them down and talk to them. Show them pictures of you when you were younger. Say, look, this is me at your age. I was young, attractive, happy. Look at me now. I look 10 years older than I am. I'm miserable. I don't even remember the last time I had a really fun night out. You know why? Because I had you. You fucking sucked the life right out of me like a giant leech. And if you have sex without knowing what you're doing, you could be me in like 13 years from now. Is that what you want? No, I didn't fucking think so. And if your issue is that you don't want your kids to know about sex, period, and that you think not teaching it until they're halfway through high school will fix it, you're delusional if you think that they won't learn about it somewhere before that. Between the internet and their friends, they're gonna learn all about it, and probably every bit of information will be wrong or skewed as fuck. You can't shelter them from real life. Better they learn about it in a classroom setting by professional teachers than by their friend's older brother who picks them up after school and tells them about the Hummer he got in the parking lot from his new girlfriend, or by Googling sex videos and watching Pornhub until you get home from work. Sex education at a young age is a good thing. It won't corrupt them, it won't start orgies in the cafeteria, 12-year-olds won't be whacking off on the baseball diamond. It can only help to know real facts and to teach them when they're still at an age when they pay attention in school and want to know things, before they become angsty little teenage shitheads that believe they already know everything there is to know about the fucking world. But no, let's not teach kids about consent or their body parts and what they're used for or how to protect themselves. It'd be like putting them in a car on their 16th birthday and saying, Here's the keys. Go figure it out, and base all your driving on the knowledge you've learned from TV, movies, and video games. Betcha that'll work out just swell. The funniest part of all of this, though, is that parents are protesting the one thing they're teaching that your kid will actually use. I don't give a fuck where Argentina is. I've never done long division in my adult life. The knowledge of who the first president or prime minister is has never done a goddamn thing for me. But knowing how not to get AIDS or how not to fuck up my life by having a kid while still getting to have sex, I gotta say, that's been pretty helpful. Way more valuable than fucking fractions.